Okay, so picture this. You've practiced a move literally 1,000 times in training. It's perfect, it's beautiful, it's art. But then you're in a match, you get the ball with all the time and space in the world, and for a split second, your brain just goes, nope. Your feet turn into concrete blocks, the turn is garbage, the pass is late as hell, and the chance is dead. It's infuriating, right? Like genuinely makes you want to throw your boots in a bin. That moment of pure brain failure is called paralysis by analysis, which sounds made up, but it's actually real. Basically, your brain gets stuck in traffic because it wasn't ready. The part that learns stuff suddenly hijacks the part that just does stuff automatically. You start thinking way too hard about what you're doing. And in football, if you have to think, you're already cooked. But here's the thing. What if you could just not do that? What if there was some stupid simple trick to flip a switch in your brain and get into that flow state whenever you wanted? Well, there is, and it's so basic, it's almost embarrassing. And it's literally just looking around, not at the worries in your head, but at what's actually happening on the pitch, getting your thinking done before everything goes to hell. It's called scanning, and honestly, it might be football's closest thing to an actual cheat code. So why does turning your head work so well? Time for the world's quickest brain lesson. You've basically got two systems fighting in there like angry roommates, the thinker and the doer. The thinker is your conscious brain, the part you use when you're learning something brand new. It's slow as hell and takes forever. It's that annoying voice going, keep your balance, push the pedal, don't fall. Great for learning, absolutely useless in a fast game. But practice enough and the skill gets handed over to the doer. This is your brain on autopilot. It's fast, automatic, and doesn't waste any energy overthinking. It just does a thing. That's the flow state all the top athletes won't shut up about. So what the hell happens on the pitch that ruins everything? Pressure. It's a biological alarm bell that makes your brain go full panic mode. When the stakes get high, your survival instincts kick in, your brain hits the emergency brake and defaults to the slow, safe thinker because it's terrified of screwing up. You start focusing on yourself, on your own worries, and what could go catastrophically wrong. That's called an internal focus, and it's basically the enemy of everything good. That's where scanning comes in like a hero. When you deliberately look around, you're forcing your brain to focus on what's out there. Where's the space? Where's my teammate who's actually making a run? Instead of the disaster movie playing in your head. You're feeding your brain actual useful information, which starves the anxious thinker and keeps the cool, calm doer in charge. So let's break down what this scanning actually is. Some super smart guy, Professor Gary Jordet, studied this and gave it a proper definition. A head movement where a player's face is temporarily directed away from the ball to gather information. But your coach probably just yells, check your shoulder, like his life depends on it. This one little habit completely changes how you deal with time. The player who doesn't scan is always reacting. They get the ball and then look up, but surprise, it's too late and they're getting bodied. The proactive player has a rhythm. It's this constant dance. Scan the pitch, lock onto the passer, scan again, lock onto the ball. That's the actual secret. You're getting the hard mental work done early while everyone else is still ball watching. So when the ball arrives, you're not panicking like everyone else. You're ready to actually do something. Okay, let's look at the absolute masters who prove this isn't just theory. You have to start with the king himself, Xavi Hernandez. Professor Jordet actually timed him and found he scanned about 0.83 times every second before getting the ball. That's the highest ever recorded. Xavi even said he was like obsessed with it, which honestly tracks. And he's not alone. Today you see that same elite frequency in guys like Kevin De Bruyne, who's basically a scanning machine. But maybe the best example is Arsenal's Martin Ødegaard. He's perfect proof that you don't have to be born with this superpower. It's a skill he worked on from a young age, and the madman even uses VR to get better at it. Actual VR for looking around. Wild. And the data backs all this up. Besides the insane numbers from Xavi and De Bruyne, other elite midfielders like Cesc Fabregas and Frank Lampard were also measured well above average. These aren't just random stats, they show a clear pattern that separates the great from the good. You can literally count genius level awareness. Here's the best part, you can actually learn this and you don't need a full team or fancy gear or a VR headset. With a bit of practice, literally anyone can build this habit. First up, the basic head turn. To practice solo, all you need is a ball and a wall. This is the wall drill. Just pass the ball against the wall, and in that split second it's traveling back. Practice taking a quick look over your shoulder. That's it. That's the drill. Do it over and over until turning your head becomes automatic. Got a friend even better. In the direction drill, one person passes the ball and as it's traveling, points either left or right. The receiver's job is to scan, see the direction, and take their first touch that way. This forces you to not just look but actually process information and link it to your next action. Finally, take this into team practice with a multi-goal game. In a small-sided match, have multiple small goals on each end line. A coach shouts out a color or number, and teams can only score in that specific goal. This forces every player to stop ball watching and constantly update their mental map of the entire pitch. By doing these simple drills, you're basically rewiring your brain. Scanning stops being just another thing you do. It becomes your secret weapon for handling pressure and playing on pure instinct. You're forcing yourself to look outward at the actual game, not inward at your anxiety. And just like that, you break that nasty habit of overthinking. You clear up that mental traffic jam, delete that paralysis by analysis nonsense, and completely change how you play and think on the pitch.